Alright, so this is going to be the video for the contest to win the Green River. And the contest obviously is to talk a little bit about what tree you use the most and what you use about it. Now, I did a video and a couple of pictures back saying that I found a hardwoodsman's birch bark substitute, and I showed how to use it, but I didn't know the correct name for the tree. Now I figured what that tree is. Talked to some people at a nature reserve, and they informed me that it's this tree right here. I knew it was this tree, but I didn't know the name. So see how the branches grow in a tangled mess? It's like they grow almost downward. This tree right there, it's an oak, and I knew it was an oak, but I thought it was a black oak. Turns out it's a pin oak. So not the chinquapin pin oak, but the pin oak. So they all grow in this bird's nest mess, hanging down. It's a great, the twigs are a great kindling. But what I use is the actual bark. Now this bark is way too old for it. It's already got the grooves and it's already thick. The bark that I'm looking for is thin, and it peels off almost like birch bark, but in smaller pieces. Alright, so I'm coming up to another good example of the pin oak. It's not small like I need it, but it's this tree right there. I just wanted to show the growth form again. So that's all the tangled mess. How the branches grow. Almost looks like the bottom part of a spruce tree, how all the dead branches are just hanging. Coming from the same tree is a branch or an extra shoot. It's got the natural check in it, and it goes up all the way out there. Now what I'm really happy about finding on this piece is the bark is already curled up for me. I don't know if you can see it. It just peels right off like that. So I'm going to peel all this bark off and keep it in one spot. It's not the whole piece of bark you want either. It's not this underbark with the lines on it. It's this stuff that peels off and you can almost hear it. Like, another good part down here. There we go. It's a nice big one. There we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. And I drop it right there. So like I said, I don't just use the bark for the birch bark substitute. I also use the wood because it's very straight grained. It burns really good, and it makes really good scraping. Go. So I'm just splitting down the wood. As you can see, it's got really straight grain. With no effort at all, it splits. It's also small. It's got a check in. I'm using my hatchet, but splits really good. What I like to do is to split it into quarters. My hatchet or my knife, whatever. Sometimes I feel like using my knife. And go on to make the shavings right from the quarters. Probably my favorite wood to use for all the reasons I've listed. Like, I haven't seen anywhere else anybody talking about bark being used like that. I could be totally wrong. You know what I mean? It could be a well-known thing. I've never read about it. I've never seen it on the internet, or seen it on TV or anything. So I'm glad I figured that out, or at least realized it, so that other people can use it. People who are like me and don't have birch around. And then it's not even necessary, obviously. Like, you guys know how to do the one stick fire. I do the one stick fire without it, but it really is cool. I like it. Always looking for new things in the bush. You know what I mean? Things that pique my interest. I'm pretty much come to the woods, make fire, and have a lunch. That's what I usually like to do on my days off. So it gets kind of mundane, kind of same old, but when something comes up that I haven't practiced before, or never really realized about before, or knew about before, it's pretty interesting.